Chapter 36. The Day the Misery Stopped. "The thing is," Aniola said, "whether you wish to believe it or not, whether you like it or not, life will keep on putting experiences along your path. If you refuse to accept them, you will have a hard time. If you want to see them as unfair, you will feel victimized. If you fight them, you will suffer from it. It's a struggle you cannot win." "So what's the good news then?" "You must be a fool," said the man, crying out from the crowds that had gathered to listen to Aniola. "You are talking fairy tale rubbish. You talk about the beauty of life, but just look at my life. It is filled with misery, and as time goes by, it only seems to get worse. And when I look at the people around, I bet the same goes for them, too. I was brought up a Christian, but I'm no longer one." Aniola looked at the man. "And if an angel were to come down from heaven," he said, "being the Christian man you are, I will speak to you in Christian terms. So, if an angel were to come down from heaven and told you that you were born with a mission in life, a mission only you could accomplish, and then he told you he would help you fulfill this mission, would you accept?" "Of course I would," the man replied. "Imagine now that this angel is no fiction. Imagine this angel is really here, and he has been talking to you ever since the moment you were born. Only you have not been listening. Not listening as you haven't been taught how to listen. Would you believe me if I told you that this angel really exists? That he really is out there, ready to help you? Would you believe me if I told you that he is here, even now, guiding you even though you are not aware of him?" "No," the man replied bluntly, "for, unlike you, I have been living in the real world, and I have learned the hard way that angels don't exist." Shaoni was shocked by the man's words and looked at the wizard, wondering what his reaction would be. The wizard remained his usual calm self as he replied, "I have been living in this same world just like you. It's only that I have learned to see beyond what seems so obvious at first. In order to see beyond, however, there is one thing you should know, something that even the boy sitting beside me knows and understands, something that you too can come to realize." Shaoni nervously shuffled forth and back on his seat. He didn't like to be involved in the wizard's stories. He preferred to quietly sit by the side and listen. Fortunately, the wizard just went on. "The way you look at life determines the way you will experience it. If you think life is a struggle and there is nothing for you to expect other than your daily dose of misery, then that is exactly how you will experience it. But if you were to change that attitude—" "Oh, just stop talking nonsense," the man bluntly intervened. "Any minute now, I expect you will be telling me that my life is hard only because I wish to see it as such." Aniola looked at the man, his eyes filled with a deep feeling of love and compassion. He didn't feel the least shocked by the aggressiveness that clearly sounded within the man's voice. "I know these words may seem hard to believe," he said, "but maybe it would be easier for you to just imagine the following." The wizard cleared his throat. "Imagine that your life was just a series of events having a hidden meaning. Imagine how you would feel if you were to believe that everything that happened in your life, even the smallest little thing, actually happened for a reason. Maybe you wouldn't know this reason, but then again, maybe you just might one day. Just try to imagine it, as if it were really true, except that everybody plain forgot to tell you about it. Or maybe they did tell you, but you forgot, until now.
And why would I believe a thing like that?
The man intervened, still sounding pretty irritated. Oh, but I am not asking you to believe it. Only just to imagine that it might be true, the wizard replied. If indeed there was a meaning behind your life and you missed it, only because you forgot to look for it, wouldn't that be a shame? Of course you can refuse to even try looking, but why would you? After all, what have you got to lose? Think about it. Do you feel that your life has improved by complaining about it? Has it made it any easier for you to feel like a victim? Has it made your so-called misery any more bearable? You know it hasn't. If you look at it carefully, you might even come to realize that it has become worse because of it. Why not do the opposite for a change? Wouldn't your misery, as you call it, be a lot easier to bear if you could see it as having a meaning? Be it a meaning you may not yet understand. Would that be too much to ask? Can you give me one reason why you wouldn't at least try it? The man didn't answer. He knew that his negative attitude towards life hadn't made it any easier indeed. The thing is this, Aniola went on. Whether you wish to believe it or not, whether you like it or not, life will keep on putting experiences along your path. If you refuse to accept them, you will have a hard time. If you want to see them as unfair, you will feel victimized. If you fight them, you will suffer from it. It's a struggle you cannot win. For a moment the crowd fell silent. Then another man called out,
Suppose this were all to be true. Tell us then what we should do to make life easier.
Oh, but that is pretty easy, Aniola replied. Every evening when you lie down to rest, just close your eyes and for a brief moment, imagine your life to be a road you walk on. A road allowing you to experience, to explore. Then look at an event that was hard for you to accept. Look at it and see it for what it really was. Just another experience. Maybe even an experience to guide you, or to help you understand. Soon you will wake up and look at life in a new way. A way that changes your life into a joyful experience once again. Having said these last words, the wizard got up, preparing himself to leave. As he was about to walk off, another man from the crowd yelled out, It all sounds very nice, but you have no idea. If only you knew all the things that happened to me in my life. The wizard smiled as he turned around to face the man. Look around then and tell me, how many people do you see who wouldn't say exactly the same thing about their life? Or did you really think you were the only one blessed? Blessed with experiences to help you along your path. Later that evening, the wizard came up to the boy and said, Look around you. Observe the people you see. So many are convinced that the world is bad and that there is nothing good they can expect from life. Look at them, my boy. Then go to your center and imagine. Imagine these people suddenly waking up and understanding. Imagine them changing their thoughts and coming to understand. Imagine how the world would change.